Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be giving you a no-nonsense guide to how you can solo 5 and 6 star raids by yourself with barely any setup. There is a few people watching these videos that are more on a casual level, so I want to cater this more towards you guys. Any of you guys out there that do need a little bit more in-depth and complicated guide, link for that will be in the description, okay? So, let's get straight into it. There are a few Pokemon here that I've got in my party that will allow you to, essentially carry yourself through raids by yourself. So ignore the Charizard who's just the lead in my party. But however, these 5 going down, I believe most of you will have access to these before you will have access to your 5-star raids. You will have access to all of these Pokemon by the time you will be raiding. So this is just going to be here for you as a reference to what you guys should be getting along the way. Once you beat the Elite Four and do your Ace Academy tournament, and you've got access to Area 0, if you're playing Pokemon Scarlet, it's recommended that you go down and get yourself a Flutter Mane at the bottom of Area 0, and if you are playing Pokemon Violet, go and get yourself an Iron Hand. They spawn kind of all over the place in Area 0 and Violet, and they're both going to do wonders for you. You are guaranteed to have a Koraidon or Miraidon, of course, depending on your version. There is a second one you can catch at the bottom of Area 0 when you have beaten the post game, as you will. So you can go back down there and get a second one. Then Azumarill, right? The biggest controversy in this team at the moment is Azu. Now Azu spawns in always the same place. It will always be Fairy Terra, and it will always spawn in the lake. If you go to Casseroya Lake and you fly on over, in the water, just a little bit ahead of you, there will be a little golden glow, and that is a static spawn of a Terra Azu, and it always spawns there, and it will never not spawn there, unless of course you've caught one recently, and then it will not spawn there, and you have to wait for it to naturally respawn. But that Pokemon over there is a Terra Azu, and that is where you go over to catch this Pokemon. So, let's go over the strategies real quick. So, the Flutter Mane is mainly here, as we have a 7-star Charizard raid going on at the moment, okay? I know full well a lot of you guys want to run this raid and you want to succeed. The easiest way for you guys to do this raid without setting up completely, we tested this yesterday with a level 75 Flutter Mane with no XP, no EVs, just with the moveset that we've given it, and it worked. So this Pokemon doesn't even need to be level 100, though it is recommended that it's leveled a little bit. And you're going to be getting candies from these raids you're doing anyway. You might as well invest them back into the Pokemon you use. So you're going to have Draining Kiss, Moonblast, Calm Mind, and Fake Tears. You will win any game, anytime you go in. You may go down if RNG roll is bad at the start of the Charizard raid, as he hits someone first, guaranteed every time. If you run Calm Mind a couple times at the start and then just Draining Kiss for a bit of chip, once you've got your Terra, once he negates, you Calm Mind a few more times to up your defense, you can just Draining Kiss him for about 3-4 minutes and you win. It's as easy as that. Once you've beaten Charizard the first time, you can catch him, get all those lovely rewards that we discussed yesterday, and you can then do it again. You're going to get so many candies, put it back into Flutter Mane, put those candies back into Flutter Mane, and you're going to get Calcium, which is going to increase special attack, put it into Flutter Mane, and run the raid again. Just keep running it back to back, and you're going to stack up on so many materials, guys. You are going to get an insane influx of materials. We're on 721 large candies, and that was only a few hours yesterday that we spent in the raids. We've got 205 calcium, which is nearly 2 million Pokédollars worth of calcium. It's worth your time. It's definitely worth your time, and it's great fun. Even if you guys are playing solo, it's a really fun time, and it is a challenge, which is why we're going to go over to our next Pokemon, which kind of removes the challenge, Azu. So, we were just discussing about how Azu spawns right over there, okay? I recommend Azu to anyone who is playing that doesn't understand the raid formula, and you may be going, oh, Kai, what do you mean? Don't understand the raid formula. Azu is your safe option. A lot of these Pokemon are your safe option for anyone that doesn't want to, take a step back and explore other Pokemon out there. Azu is he has got a very, very, simple strategy. You belly drum, you play rough, you waterfall, whichever you're going for, you win. Once you belly drummed, you'll be +6 attack, which means you are going to have a greater attack than you normally would. And then when you've got Play Rough or Waterfall, they are both stab moves, as you are Fairy Water, and which basically stab means you're going to be doing even more damage than if this was going to be used by a Pokemon that's not part of that typing. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage. The only issue I want to say to you guys is it's going to look like visually that you are doing more damage than you are actually doing, and that is because of his ability Huge Power doesn't work properly. So the ability Huge Power that you can see down there at the bottom, it doesn't work properly. It doesn't calculate the damage the way it should. So don't be alarmed, because this Pokemon is still, a viable candidate for carrying you through your 5 and 6 star raids. Any 5-star raid, these Pokemon will get you through no problem. 6-star raids, you got to start thinking a little bit. With these 5 Pokemon, you'll win pretty much every single raid, no problem. And this brings us on to our next one. We've got ourselves as Iron Hands. Iron Hands is another Pokemon that is super easy to use. Majority of the time, if you go into a raid, you're gonna win with Iron Hands, especially if it's a 5-star raid. You just win, okay? Give it a booster energy, and I know you will get one of these at the end of your game when you're going into the lab at the end. You'll be on the ground, you just want to pick that up. And you're going to have similar moves. You're going to have Belly Drum, Drain Punch, Close Combat, and Thunder Punch. However, you can change this up however you like. Run some Electric and Fighting type moves for Stab, and Belly Drum, which will give you a +6 to use that on turn 1. Happy days. Drain Punch to keep you alive, and you can't lose. Then we're going to go into Caridon and Miraidon. These guys, again, don't require a lot of work. You can just use one straight out of when you've caught it. You've got Dragon Claw, Sword Stance, Collision Course, and Drain Punch. Happy days. You go straight into that raid, you run a Sword Stance, and you Drain Punch, you win. It's as simple as that. You Terrestrialize as soon as you can, you Drain Punch, and you win. Same with Miraidon, however, I don't have the move set up. Miraidon has a very similar move where she also can Drain Punch, but it's like an Electric type special. All of these Pokemon will easily carry you through as a casual for these raids. There is no reason why they shouldn't. You guys should, realistically be able to solo your 5-star raids. Like, you have no problem. 6-star raids, it will get there a little bit. You just got to start thinking a little bit, and you'll be perfectly fine. And then when it comes to the 7-star raid, use your Flutter Mane, you will. Okay? There are different strategies for different raids, but this is kind of just covering every kind of raid that you'll encounter as a casual, and I really hope this helped you guys out. If you do need any of those version exclusives like Miraidon, Flutter Mane, or Iron Hands, we do have a really good group of people in our community on Discord, which is quite active most of the time, where people are willing to trade their version exclusives over. And we also do run giveaways between 3 to 5 times a week, where we give away box legendaries such as Miraidon, Caridon, and other various shinies that are highly sought after. So if it's, if you guys have 5 minutes in your day, feel free to swing on by. If there's a giveaway going on, enter yourself into the giveaway, have a chat with the people in there, and you may win, and you may meet some really cool people, and then that might break you away from that, and you guys can play together, which would be fantastic. But on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.